Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dhanaji.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nitindra.
So good to have you back, Dhanaji.
Thank you.
You were in a seclusion last week, and no wonder the topic of today is the benefits of seclusion. And
Right.
we will share about this, but before that, we will have a song by Swamiji and then a video talk on this topic on the benefits of seclusion by Swamiji. And then Dhanaji will share her insights on the benefits. So before that, Dhanaji, we would request you to start us with a prayer.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Beloved Master, beloved Swamiji, we offer our lives at thy feet. Help us to go inward. Help us to bring our energy in complete attunement with thee. Om Shanti Shanti.
Listen, listen, whispering within your soul, hints of laughter, hints of joy, sweet songs of sadness, of quenchless yearning for the light, for my love, your true home. Long your heart has played the dance, long you've toyed with merest shadows of the treasures left behind you deep in your soul. Long you plumbed the dark for answers, long you've begged from beggars' empty hands, gifts of life they too were seeking, gifts none could share. Friend, how long will you wander? Friend, as long as you seek your home in a land where all are strangers, love locks her door. Leave to the weak his craven life, to the coward leave his dreaming. Oh, my saint, wake up, reclaim the light, seek the truth behind all seeming.
I used to meet in India people who would say, well, when all this is over and I've raised my children, I've finished my business, I retire, then I'll go to the Himalayas and I'll just be alone with God. But I was sure that they would never do that, because if you don't bring your Himalayas to where you are, you will never go to the Himalayas. You know that story of Muhammad, no doubt apocryphal, where he's said to have said, if the mountain won't come to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the mountain. Well, there's a lot of truth to that too, that we've got to go to the mountain now, live in that mountain, live in that peace, and then when those moments come that we can enjoy them really, then our spirits can soar. People will go to the beach carrying their blockbuster radios with them. They'll go to the forest and sit by the side of a lake and have this new music surrounding them, so they can't hear the whisper of the wind in the pine needles. They can't hear the soft lapping of the water on the beach. They can't hear the call of the birds and the singing of the crickets. They're so busy with themselves. It's not just this noise from the radios, it's the noise they're putting out that makes them want something compatible to have around them, because that's what they are. You know, if you could really learn silence, if you could reach that level of deep peace within, you would find that your health would improve, your outlook on life would improve, everything about you would improve. So much depends on learning to dive a little bit into the inner silence.
Good morning again, friends. It's nice to be back. I'd like to start with a reading about Master and Seclusion with Swamiji from the New Path. Swamiji had arrived just before this and maybe a month or so, and Master took him into seclusion at 29 Palms. This is Swamiji's words. My first visit to 29 Palms was for a weekend. We visited Master at his place, which was down the road. My first recollection of him on that occasion isn't so much of the things he said as of what he didn't say. I didn't know it at the time, but he placed great importance on silence. Disciples working around him were permitted to speak only when necessary. Silence, he said, is the altar of spirit. Master was seated out of doors by the garage. Bernard and I were standing nearby. Master asked Bernard to go into the house and fetch something. Suddenly, for the first time since my acceptance as a disciple, I found myself alone with my guru. It seemed an opportunity not to be missed, a chance to learn something, anything. Master evidently didn't see it in the same light. He made no move to speak. Finally, I decided I'd better break the ice. I had learned from Bernard how to commune inwardly with Om, the cosmic sound, which manifests itself to the yogi in deep meditation. Sir, I inquired, what does Om sound like? Master gave a prolonged He then reverted comfortably back to silence. To me, alas, his silence was anything but comfortable. How does one hear it? I persisted, though I already knew the technique. This time, Master didn't even bother to answer, but simply assumed the prescribed position. After holding it briefly, he returned his hands silently to his lap. Some months later, I told him I was having trouble calming my breath in meditation. That, he replied, is because you used to talk a lot. The influence has carried over. Well, he added consolingly, you were happy in that. Silence is the altar of spirit. As I grew into my new way of life, I began to value this maxim. This is a very important and an appropriate topic because I'm just coming from the Himalayas and a meditation, seclusion rather. And it's important to have time alone with God. Silence is one of the most important parts of our path, yet in the society and the times that we're living, seclusion is one of the most important parts of our path. Meditation, chanting, being alone with God, but we're pulled out of ourselves constantly, constantly, constantly. When do we ever have a chance to be alone with God? And as you saw, Swamiji and Master had that opportunity. Master often went to 29 Palms, I think as much as he was able to have that time alone. And deeper practices, meditation, and time with God alone. Swamiji, he would be often in seclusion. He was writing many times when he was in seclusion. He was in complete silence. He also recommended strongly that we take seclusion. What I want to say is it's a part of our path. It's not, oh, I don't like silence, oh, I don't want to be alone, or I'm afraid of being alone. It's a part of our spiritual teachings and path to spend some time with God alone. And we can get into how long and what you do and all, but let's first accept the concept that it's a part of our path. And I've taken seclusions every year for dozens, decades, really, every year. At Ananda Village, we're inspired and encouraged to take seclusion, 2 weeks vacation, 1 week, when I was there at least, it was a paid seclusion just to go away and get in attunement. So what happens in seclusion? What is it really? It's a time when you put away the worldly obligations, and this is if you can, when you can. It's a time when you put away your phone, your duties, you meditate more, you do the practices more, energize maybe twice a day, do yoga postures, chant, learn the chants, listen to talks about our teachings, study the teachings, read the books that we have an inner conversation going on with God, purifying yourself. Physically, you reduce the tensions enormously. Your mind starts calming down, insights come, inspirations, answers to questions you might have had for years because you're open, you're receptive, you meditate much longer than what you normally would meditate. You've got all day if you can do that, but at least meditate a lot more. You do more Hong Sa, more Om technique, Kriya, higher Kriyas if you have plenty of time to do the practices. And you have plenty of time to sit long and just commune. Feel Divine Mother's love all around you, uplifting you, purifying you, taking away your karma. And so physically, seclusion immensely calms your heart, calms the breath, calms your also mentally calms your mind and helps you to open up spiritually to be able to receive. And I've just went over what you do in seclusion and how long is the seclusion. Now, a proper seclusion should go for some time, a week. But if you're just a beginner, you don't have to do a week. Maybe do 3 days. That, for most people, shutting down your phone for 3 days could be like really, it could get you really nervous and upset. So you may not want to do 3 days, but I just loved it. Shutting that phone down, not looking at one message. Of course, I let my family know in the United States that I was not going to be around the phone. And they knew. So if there was emergency, they have people that who could contact me. But to shut off the phone and get off of social media for 3 days, even a day, your consciousness changes. You're not all this juggling of the mind and the thoughts and the restlessness and other people's lives involved in your life, and you're just thinking about something else that doesn't even have anything to do with you. And so you shut down. And what I'm really saying is you start shutting down the senses. You start bringing your energy back inside. You have very profound, typically profound experiences, deep meditation. Maybe you see the light more clearly. Maybe you hear the Om booming because you finally have shut down the world. So you may do it for that many days. Maybe you do it for 5 days. Typically, we do it for a week, or some people do it for 2 weeks. Swamiji would do it for many weeks. I know people who'd go into seclusion for a month at a time. You read the lives of the great masters and the saints, they all went up to the mountains or somehow shut down their life and just had time with God alone. If you never, ever do it, you just are missing a wonderful, wonderful part of our path. And so it could be one day. It could be like your day off or even half a day, just to shut everything down and just to meditate, go inside, and realize that none of this is going to be with you. None of it was with you when you came in this world. Nothing's going to be there when you leave. It's just a moment of your soul being merging with God. And I hope that all of you will take the time, half a day, 2 days, 3 days. Just keep over the years, just keep going. I was remembering someone asked Swamiji, did he just start off with 2 weeks right away? And he said, yeah, at the beginning he did. And I started off with a week right away. I mean, you can do it, but you have to be used to being alone. And being alone, not alone with God. And being in silence and not talking. And not having entertainment going on all the time, all day long. I've got to be entertained. I've got to be entertained. You just shut down the entertainment and your energy rises up and you just lift up. It's such a wonderful experience. I hope you can feel behind my words what I'm saying. Everyone is on our path, needs to take the time and be alone with God. God bless you all. We have some questions today. I'll ask Natindra to join. And I think we'll be having enough time to answer all these questions today.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. So the first question, Dhyanaji, is that if I feel afraid to be alone because I usually live with a household of people all the time, so how should I get started?
Well, let me ask you this. What is there to fear? For one, you're afraid of yourself, it sounds like. Well, I would say start small. Start with what you can do. But you know, Natindra, people are in a kind of a seclusion when they get ill. Isn't it so? And why do they get ill so much? Because they've had enough. So, I mean, not everybody, but you understand what I'm saying. And so people you have a mini seclusion every night. You don't, I got to stay awake so I can talk. No, you shut down because your body needs it. And also when you're ill, you shut down. Some people are ill for long periods of time. You don't want to be around anybody when you're ill. It's not like, oh, let's go have a party. Let's go and do this. No, you just shut down. And so this is a conscious shutting down. Instead of waiting till you can't take it anymore, you're physically ill, and let's not even start with mentally ill because you just had so much bombardment. Now, think about it. Why do we look at the society we're living in? Crowdedness, so many responsibilities, working 12 hours, 9 hours, whatever it is people are doing, going out in that traffic and the honking and the dogs barking, and there's always construction going on. I don't care where you're living, isn't it so? There's construction, somebody's building across the street, they're building next door, and the honking can drive you crazy. I remember I was with Jyotish and Daviji in a car once in Delhi, and there was so much honking. I mean, for years and years, we've been experiencing this. So they said, well, Dhyana, I think, I think the honking's less. I said, no, the honking is not less. And I said, if you really notice, the honking is coming from our own car. And so it's just, we're living in noise and crowdedness, and it's too much on the senses. So no wonder people are restless. No wonder people have the thoughts racing through their mind. No wonder people are nervous. No wonder people are all kinds of ailments that we think are normal. It's not normal. You need to have a time when you just rejuvenate yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. I hope I'm making this clear, that seclusion doesn't just rejuvenate you spiritually, but as you heard Swamiji said in the talk, it helps your health. And so having that time in silence, wow, there is nothing like it. I would never live without it. And so if you have a big family, you're not every moment and 24 hours a day for every day of the year with your family. You go somewhere and do something. So you have to just think about the importance of it and put it into your life. And as I say, start small, but just add more and more time. And if you're already more inward, don't start small, start with more time. And I'm so glad, Natindra, that the Gurvan group went to Babaji's cave this weekend, I know, past weekend, and they put a retreat day into those days of being at Babaji's cave. And the place they were staying at, silence, take the phone away. For 8 hours, give me your phone. I think that's the way we have to do it. We have to retrain ourselves because let's face it, we're living in a very restless time, in a restless society in the big cities. And if you keep going in the direction you're going into, you'll have major health problems, major mental problems, major, not even to start on the spiritual problems. So we have to pull back. And I think this thing, what you all did at Babaji's cave it's a model. People should pull back some. Just have one of those days, silence, not always talking. So I'm glad you all had that opportunity. It went well, didn't it?
Absolutely, the energy. And as you said, I mean, it's not a problem. It was easier. Everyone could do it as well and enjoy it.
Even new people could do it, couldn't they?
Exactly, yes, the energy.
Now just tell me this, no one was crying because they didn't have their phone, were they?
Perhaps they were all happy that they got rid of it.
Great.
So, Dhyanaji, these things do happen that people feel that maybe I'll be cut off from the world if I do not watch television every day, or if I am not in contact with people with my phone. So, how do we handle those kinds of initial fears?
Yeah, I had a lot of WhatsApp messages when I came out of seclusion, and I had a whole lot of emails. But honestly, when I went through them, half of them I didn't even need. And I know people know this. Half of what you get is not, you absolutely have to see that message, or it's an emergency. Half of them, at least half of them, I didn't even need to get of the emails and the WhatsApp messages. And I mean, if you're going on one day like you all did anybody have an emergency in the day? So I think you can figure that one out. It's not really an outside problem, it's an inside problem that people don't want to do it. So start small, start with 2 hours even, just anything, but turn the phone off and shut off the television. And I remember Swamiji in one of his talks here in Pune years back, this is recorded, he was saying that a person who watches a lot of television cannot meditate, period. Wow. He said, because there's all these thoughts and images going, and your mind is picking them up, and then you say, now I'm going to meditate. Well, that's restlessness is still there. And if you have a habit of watching television every day, I think you've got to realize that that's not a yogic life. You've just got to pull back, and the commercials, they can drive you nuts. Even on YouTube, you're watching something that, I just suggest, leave it alone. There's nowhere where you can have peace and quiet until you go inside. So you'll have to figure it out. But I think if you can have these short experiences like you all had at Babaji's cave, then I think people say, oh, I didn't feel bad. I didn't lose anything by having that time. Isn't it so?
Absolutely, Dhyanaji.
Yeah, work it out with your family to give them your phones. If there's an emergency, knock on the door. You can figure it out, honestly. It's more that people don't want to do it. I hate to keep saying it, but that's the truth of the matter. If you really want to do it, I'll tell you, when people turn to God in this way, is when there's something painful in their life. Pain is a teacher.
Mhm.
When you have something painful, somebody passes away, you lose your job, something happens with your finances, your health goes bad, you have to go into the hospital, everybody's, oh, God alone. So why not start before that? Like Lady Mahashayaji said, if you invite God into the summer of your life, he'll be there in the winter time. So that's what we're doing. You're like putting your money into your savings, your spiritual savings account. So when you're in seclusion and you have that time alone, I felt like much karma was swept away for one. And then your aura gets very strong because that's all you're doing. You're away from the drives of the pulls of the city. You're away from the pulls of all the things that you do socially. The people just sap your energy. And so you're just there and you get stronger and stronger and stronger. You walk out of there with a powerful aura around you. So things happen, but they don't knock you over. So it's worth the time and effort and energy. And even if you're just new on the path, just get started and you'll find I would say it's the greatest thing I do on the path is seclusion, the most helpful. Of course, the daily meditation, but having those times with God alone, there's nothing like it. I think the masters come. That's my feeling.
Dhanaji, you talked about the family thing. So, if the family of my spouse may not want me to go into seclusion because they would want to have me around, how should I handle those situations?
Well, your spouse either may play golf or the wife may be a shopaholic. They must do something that they like to do. And I think timing is the thing. And nobody's with somebody all the time. And if so, it's too familiar. So I think it's more of planning and organizing it, just like this Babaji's cave pilgrimage. If there was 30 something people, I mean, that sang a lot that they went away for 4 days, So nobody said, don't go, don't go. Maybe they did, but maybe the person went anyway. So you have to figure it out. Typically, the spouse has something they like to do and let them do it, and you go and spend time with God. I mean, Rajasi Janakananda Swamiji said his wife she gave him a lot of difficulties, and he was Master's foremost disciple. So you have to hold your ground. Don't just give in and give in. Okay, okay, another party. Okay, another wedding. Okay, okay. You have to say, this is important in my life. And be like Master. And Mukunda, he would just do what he wanted to do. He told his father, if you speak against my guru, I will renounce you. So let's hold our ground. Don't just give in all the time. I mean, it's an important part of the path. You can be with your family, but who's your real family? God, Christ, Krishna, Babaji, Lady Masha. Remember someone asked me, where's your family? This was my Esraj teacher at the very beginning. He was trying to decide if he wanted to take me as a student or not. And I took him in the temple and I showed him the pictures of the gurus. He says, okay, I will teach you. So, I mean, that's a powerful family. So, and the other thing is pray to them. I would like to take a seclusion, Master. Help me, help my family, help me. Don't just say, nothing's going to happen. Just, Master, I want to do it. You must help me. You see the difference? Rather than just giving in all the time.
That's a great advice. Thank you, Dhanaji.
Yeah.
We have a couple of live questions, Dhanaji.
Okay, good.
So do some places help more in getting a deeper experience than others when going in seclusion? Like, should we more be in nature or something like that?
I would say don't do seclusion in the bedroom. Don't sit on your bed. You probably get very sleepy. And so, yeah, the vibrations in your house, if that's the only possibility, that's the only possibility. I have done seclusions in my home, not this home, but others. And I found I was cleaning, I was doing all kinds of things that were pulling me in all directions in the house. So better to get out of the house, better to get up in nature. I was just looking at the Himalayas every day. Wow, stunning, stunning, stunning. The first day it was pouring down rain. And I thought, I'll never see the mountains. And then the next day I opened the door, boom, just the whole range that I could see from where I was, Abbott Mount, was just stunning. walks. This is one thing I didn't mention, but taking walks. Don't just sit all day, 10 hours meditating. You got to exercise, get fresh air if you can get up in the mountains or seaside, but not a place where you're going to be completely distracted. And here's another thing, Natendra, I didn't bring up, but you can go with another person. I know sometimes the monks would go together or whatever, but you have to be strict. It can't be that you're talking all the time. I've been on seclusion with another person, and yeah, I won't get into well, I'll say one other thing, but anyway, I've been in seclusion. We were on opposite sides of the house and never talked and hardly saw each other. Then we had the ladies' seclusion in Pune, and I won't do that again because nobody ever stopped talking. Even though we said clearly, Nayaswami Roma and I clearly we're not talking the whole time. People's hiding, whispering, hiding, but I remember one woman at Ananda village at the seclusion retreat. It's been renamed the seclusion retreat back from the meditation retreat. So people will go take seclusion. And this lady, I would lead the seclusions for Kriya bonds, people about to take Kriya prep seclusions, Kriya seclusions, higher Kriya seclusions for a week, each one a week, no talking, no phone. I remember one lady came to me the first day, she says, Dhyana, I gotta talk. I've been talking so much my whole, I just gotta talk. I said, well, don't talk to me for sure. So then she tried to talk, other people didn't talk. By the end of the 7 days, you couldn't get her to talk. She loved it. She loved it. So it's like it's a habit. When you can start breaking that habit, you get another habit of not talking, and you just love it. So try it and see if you don't love it.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. One final question for the Dhyanaji is that
Okay.
once we are back from seclusion and the seclusion ends, then we are back to work and to life. So in that, how can we stay inward and enjoy the benefits for a longer time?
That's a wonderful question. I found when I came out of seclusion this time, and please remind me, Nitendra, I like to share after the seclusions because I just was in there. I can tell you from my experience, but was feeling like I wasn't talking as loudly as I normally would. My voice was more quiet. I was more inward, even though I was communicating and talking. But I found it took me a little while to really get back to this again. But even so, I found myself just tearful at different times after the seclusion, just like I just felt so much. It was a joy, but it was more, what do you get from it? More the presence of God. It wasn't like big vision, booming sound, a big light came. It wasn't that. It was just the love of God, just so sweet. And I found myself after the seclusion at different times. I just wonder why am I feeling like this? And it was from the seclusion. So getting back to your question, you keep your focus up at the spiritual eye, not the eyes, but keep your focus up there. And you don't feel like you can't talk or anything. I'll tell you what I really feel and what I felt. I just felt I could share more with people, and I wanted to share. And I did have a weekend of sharing this past weekend, and that I was sharing on a deeper level. So feel when you come out of seclusion, you don't have to share spiritually at your job, but the vibrations that are coming from you are a deep blessing for your family, your friends, your coworkers. They don't have to know anything. Just like coming from Babaji's cave, you're a different person. You come from there, people feel something's different about you. You feel it. So just emanate without showing off or saying, I did this. Who cares? This is personal. But you sense that a deep blessing has happened in your life. And what are blessings for? to share subtly with others. So I would say just share on the level that you can, but you can't say now I have to be off a week from work because I came out of seclusion. Just be like Lahiri Mahashaya. Better to be like Pranabananda, who felt so much energy in his spine, so much joy that he got his retirement. Now, Natindra, you can't do that yet, but you can try for it a little bit later. Okay, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Natindra. Bye-bye.